NBA still have a Deni Avdija problem. I ain't gonna lie, bro. I'll be really saying, like, last video I made about Deni, bro, I told him I need him to drop 50, and some of y'all was like, he don't play like that. He's a pass-first type guy. That's understandable. I'm not saying he's not a pass-first type guy. What I'm saying is, to get an all-star nod for the Trailblazers, bro, you might have to drop 50. You might have to, bro. You just might. Yeah, but look, let's go ahead
and I think I have changed my stance on what I think the ceiling of Deni Avdija is. And that might sound dumb to some people 10 games into a season, because it is only 10 games into a season. But I think the question about him was, the first half of the year he was not good. Second half of the year he was very good.
What?
Averages ended up almost washing out to being identical to what they were in his last year in Washington.
Let me start with something most people won't admit. Some stars are forgotten not because they're bad, but because they make good look easy. Tonight isn't about someone scoring 40 or flying through the air. It's about a player who makes the game look so smooth you barely notice how hard it is.
Nah, I ain't gonna lie. That's not why people don't like. No. People don't like Deni. People don't want to watch Deni. People don't notice Deni because his nationality, bro. We ain't about to do that. He played the game too smooth. That's why people don't notice him. No. People be hating. You know what I'm saying? They be hating. But I understand what he's saying.
There's a 24-year-old in Portland who's putting up numbers that match all-stars. And yet, if I asked 10 casual fans to name him, 9 would scroll Instagram trying to guess. You know him, basketball community.
Nah, bro. It's just... I don't know. I think people know him. I think they just try not to recognize him, bro. I think that's what it is, to be honest.
Communities know him, but somehow Deni Avdija remains the most underrated, high-impact player in the NBA right now.
He wants that last shot, maybe. One-on-one.
Step back, side step, come here. Wow.
Fires and scores.
He definitely, I can concede that. He definitely the most underrated high-impact player. Cause he basically the whole Trailblazers offense, bro.
He wants that last shot, maybe.
Pop.
One on Edwards. He lines up a triple. Fires and scores! Deni Avdija in full command.
And AE now.
He's not flashy, he's not loud, he doesn't yell after dunks or point to the camera. He quietly scores 25, grabs 7, dishes 5, moves like a guard, thinks like a veteran, and guards 4 possessions.
I ain't gonna lie though. He be giving you that little smooth little, he'll give you a little something now. He don't be too over emotional. He'll give you a little something.
Every single night. The league keeps searching for the next superstar. Meanwhile, they're ignoring someone who already fits how basketball is supposed to be played. Let's back up. But before we start, if you love basketball and you're one of the 90% who followed the traditional NBA storyline. No high school mixtape with wild dunks. No viral AAU tape. He was 16 playing against professionals. At 19, he wasn't getting young talent comments. He was Israel's MVP. The youngest ever. You were probably still trying to beat level 12 in 2K. He was cooking grown men with mortgages. And while most prospects were adjusting to college systems, he was adapting to real scouting reports designed to shut him down. He wasn't being protected, he was being game planned against. Those years built decision-making under pressure instead of highlight culture. That's why his game looks mature while others still rely on athletic bursts. Drafted 9th overall in 2020. Same class as Edwards and LaMelo. Fast forward 5 years, Edwards is now a megastar. LaMelo is a household name. Deni, still introduced on broadcast, was underrated forward from Israel. Even when
damn, they be saying, hold on, they be on a broadcast dead ass saying underrated forward from Israel. That's what they be saying? Really? Just say Deni Avdija. Come on, what we doing, bro? Why we still call him underrated? He's not underrated.
He drops a quiet 20 and impacts every possession. Commentators talk more about who guarded him than what he did.
Avdija off the high screen. Right to the cup for the pass.
It's almost like people expect him to have a weakness and get confused when they can't find one. When he's on court, teams function better. But most viewers only look at box scores. That's why impact guys are often discovered late.
That's what I said, bro. I know that 25, 5, and 5 is cool, but bro, people be casual people in media sometimes, they be looking at the stats. That's why I say you drop 50, you an all-star. I mean, I mean, you can still be an all-star without
Because
dropping 50,
effectiveness has no flashy stat. Except here's what nobody mentions. He delivers around 17, 7, 4 with minimal mistakes. Reads the floor like a veteran point
That was
guard
last
and
year,
was
though, bro.
asked to do everything except what he's best at
so
in
last year
Washington.
in Washington.
Why? Because the NBA loves specialists. Shooters shoot, rim runners run. Everyone gets assigned a box. But what do you
He
do
did
as a
that-
player who's
he did
good
that
at
OKC this
everything?
year.
You either build a system around him or you waste him for 4 years. The crazy part is that most teams never even get to
I
test
told y'all, bro, him getting wasted with the Wizards for 4 years, bro. I think that's, bro. That shit.
option 1 because they panic before trying. They assume versatility means lack of upside instead of hidden ceiling. Only when he landed in Portland did someone say, let's see what happens if we just let him play. And suddenly, all the things scouts like in the draft started showing up every game. Guess which one Washington did? Watch the player, not the ball. Let me give you a visual editors will love. Clip a play where a player scores off a wide open look. Now pause 5 seconds earlier. Watch Deni. Watch the rotation he calls. Watch the switch he triggers. Watch how he screens without needing to score. How he spaces without being the star. Look how
Why you
his
gotta show his
timing
mom
forces
OKC
the
Thunder, nigga?
defense to make a choice a split second earlier. Notice how he subtly adjusts his positioning to pull help away from the primary scorer.
Back to Avdija. The face up on Bridges. Score! A three-pointer. Avdija nails a three.
No celebration, no gesture, just a nod and a jog back. That's influence without recognition. He's the drummer in a rock band. Nobody films him, but if he stops playing, the whole thing collapses. Problem is, highlights don't show that. TikTok doesn't show that. And that's the point. We're trained to judge by the final moment, not the setup. Coaches replay those 5-second windows in film rooms more than the actual score. Fans rarely get to see that version of basketball. But in Portland, they're building around exactly those moments. And it's working. The NBA values superpowers. Deni is the toolbox. Numbers mean everything until they don't. Washington Deni, 14.7 points per game, touches the ball 67 times per game. Zero hype. Portland Deni, 2024-25, 16.9 points per game, 47.6% from the field. Still underused but trending up. Portland Deni now, 2025-26, 17 games, 25.1 points, 6.6 rebounds,
Cooking.
5.4 assists.
See, this is, he can get an all-star now with this. Look, I'm telling y'all, he can get an all-star now with these numbers. These numbers are cool. But for the Trailblazers and y'all losing games, bro, you gotta be averaging 30. I'm telling you. I'm just saying, bro. I'm just being honest with y'all, bro. I'm just keeping it real.
62.4% through shooting, nearly 37% from three. You don't accidentally stumble into that production. Here's the difference. Washington gave him instructions. Portland gave him options. Chauncey Billups literally said, we don't run plays for Deni. We run concepts. Although Billups' status changed dramatically when he was arrested by the FBI and charged with wire fraud and money laundering conspiracy connected to an alleged mafia-backed illegal gambling and rigged poker scheme. As a result, Portland placed him on immediate leave, and he's no longer actively coaching pending the investigation. The system he helped design remains in place, but that's now part of a much more complex story. Let that sink in. While most players get one assigned role, Deni gets to read, react, control. Let me hit you with recent performances because editors will need clips here. 32-11-11 versus Bulls. Loss 122
That's
to
what I'm
121. Complete takeover. 26-13-6 versus Warriors. Win 127 to 123. Season high assists. 29-6-7 versus Mavericks. Overtime. Held his own versus Luka. 32 on 66% versus Pelicans. Pure scoring display. 33-11-8 versus Heat against elite defense. 26-10-9 versus OKC. Near triple-double in clutch win. That's not a role
He was going crazy against us for some reason. He don't like us.
player, that's not a bench spark, that's someone shaping the entire game. Close your eyes for a second. Imagine if the NBA actually valued basketball IQ the same way it values vertical leap. How many players like Deni are sitting in corners right now, stuck behind tier labels and highlight bias? Let me give you a number. At least 5. 5 players right now capable of being high-impact compact generalists, except somebody decided they should stand in the corner and maybe shoot. We say we want positionless basketball, then we try to force players into positions. How broken is that? Why Europe produces stinkers, not chuckers. You know why Deni pulls passes most wouldn't see? Because in Israel, the extra pass gets you praised.
I understand that, and I'm not mad at that being a thing where they, you know what I'm saying, you rather be a passer than a chucker. But in the NBA, bro, you might want to chuck that thing a little bit more than passing game. I'm keeping it 100. It's a little bit more because, bro, they praise the scores, bro. They gonna praise the scores always, bro. Honestly, they praise people who pass the rock. They praise the scores a lot. I'm just saying.
In AAU basketball, the extra pass gets you benched. European basketball teaches you to think like chess. NBA highlights teach you to think like a dunk contest.
He stumbles to the floor, the ball is loose. Kamara with it, bounces ahead to Deni. He rolls right to the cup for the right.
Deni shows up expecting to play chess. The NBA hands him a football helmet. He doesn't slow down the pace, he slows down the chaos. And Portland finally realized that. They stopped trying to speed him up and instead let the game move at his rhythm. They figured out that when you let a high IQ player dictate timing, bad possessions disappear. Look at their late game execution. It's no accident they're calmer when he's on the court. What looks like hesitation is actually control disguised as patience. The trade everyone laughed at.
For years, nearly every solution for erectile dysfunction has focused on one thing: blood flow. And while that
When Portland traded Malcolm Brogdon for Deni, people called it pointless. Why swap a proven vet for someone who hasn't popped yet? Because
they knew what was coming.
They didn't see it.
They
thought they were getting a role
Yeah, they knew what was coming. They knew that boy had it in him.
player. What they actually
seen him
got
before
was a
anybody
Swiss
else.
Army knife the rest of the league was too busy label checking to notice. Now, his net rating jumps +8 on offense, +6 on defense when he's on the court. His contract, 4 years, $55 million.
That's a nice little chunk of change. 4 years, 55. Yeah, a little something. Yeah.
Teams pay bench shooters $30 million a year. Let that sink in. That means Portland is paying starter money for franchise-level value. GMs are already kicking themselves because they had 4 seasons to see this coming. If this continues, that deal might go down as one of the most efficient trades of the decade. Imagine if he was on a max contract. People would suddenly discover how good he is, even
I just don't want him in the Trailblazers, bro.
though nothing about his game would need to change. 2025-26 season. Hard facts. 25.1 points per game, 6.6 rebounds, 5.4 assists. 48.2% from the field, 36.9% from 3, 84.8% from the line. 35.1 minutes per game. True shooting, 62.4%. His best game this month, triple-double against Chicago. Best assists, 13 versus the Warriors. Most points, 33 twice. But here's the kicker. He's only 24. He's 5 years ahead of the traditional generalist timeline. Dirk didn't pop until age 25. Draymond until 25. Jokic until 24-25. Giannis until 23-24. Deni's entering that zone. His game relies on intelligence, not explosiveness. You know what that means. His prime might last longer than most stars. The problem isn't Deni. It's how we watch. We love stars, we love stats, but championships? Look at every winner in the last decade. Warriors, Draymond, Bucks,
Man, stop. No, bro. See, no, we not doing that in this video. I'm sorry, I can't do it. I'm sorry, I can't do it. No, let's look at every champion.
It's how we watch. We love stars, we love stats, but championships? Look at
SGA was averaging 30. Come on, bro. Come on.
Every winner in the last decade. Warriors.
No, ain't no Draymond, no. Steph Curry, KD, Klay Thompson, bucket getters. Ain't no Draymond nothing, bro. Talk some Draymond. Man, Draymond ain't do nothing.
Draymond, Bucks, Middleton.
No Middleton. Giannis.
Holiday, Nuggets, Gordon, KCP.
Jokic.
Even final sons, Bridges. Not always the brightest star, often the glue. Deni is modern glue, positionless.
Hold on, no, he ain't no glue. First of all, hold on. They trying to call Deni a second option, third option? That's what we doing? Well, that's what we doing. They're trying to call Deni a second option, third option. So he can't be a number one option on a good team? So he can't be a number one option on a championship team. That's what y'all telling me. Is that what y'all telling me?
Modular, impactful everywhere. You build teams around stars. You win with the guys who connect them. Final message. The league doesn't have a Deni problem. It has a vision problem. 29 teams looked at him and thought, solid role player. One team handed him the keys and now they have a future cornerstone at backup salary.
That's what I'm saying though, so why the hell...
Stars shine. Constellations
You see that boy SGA? You know what I'm saying? He pops.
win championships. And Deni Avdija, he's the star that makes the constellation work. Now you know why the numbers were always there, why the eye test always felt right, why it took so long.
Deni, and boy, I ain't gonna lie, man. Y'all already know what's going on, man. Like, comment, subscribe for more Deni videos. But look, bro, this video it was kind of right, but I think it kind of like, you know, he said some kind of stuff I ain't like for real. But like I said, bro, I'm not gonna lie. He can keep. I like Deni passing the ball. I like him being a playmaker, bro. But what I'm saying is, bro, the NBA like flashy. They do like flashy. I think he need to score just a little bit more, just close enough to 30 to where he can get an All-Star nod. To be honest, yes, I'm voting for him. I'm saying he gonna have a fan vote because I'm voting. You feel me? But look, man, y'all already know what to do, man. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, comment down below. And I'm see y'all in the next one. No cap.